Om Shanti, good morning. So, hearty welcome to everybody. We have amongst us Sudarshan Bhai, a special guest. Welcome Sudarshan Bhai to the group.
Om Shanti.
So, Om Shanti. Hope my voice is audible and clear.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So, as you must have been briefed, we are a small group studying Baba's Avik Murli right since 1969, and we are now in the year of 1977. And every month we have special guests, the people who are practicing Rajyoga meditation since many years, and we get benefited from their churnings. So today, Sudarshan Bhai, we have y'all. For all those who might not be aware about Sudarshan Bhai, let me take this opportunity to briefly introduce him. In Laukik, Sudarshan Bhai is a software engineer by profession, and he's working with Microsoft since 2003. I think almost more than 2 decades. And
Yeah.
he's now serving as a part-time regional IT coordinator since 2011. Uh, so Darshan Bhai has been student and teacher of Brahma Kumaris Rajyoga since 2001, and he has helped start and coordinate the activities of Inner Space Meditation Center and Gallery at the Howard Square from 2012 to 2020. Two of the major contributions what I can understand is one is in 2023, that is this year, he co-authored a paper for Harvard Divinity School conference titled Brahma Kumaris, a women-led spiritual organization challenging a male-dominated spiritual landscape. Interesting title. I just got an opportunity to read this article yesterday. I'll share this link on the chat, so maybe anybody interested can go through this. Very nice article. And the second one, since 2021, Sudarshan Bhai has served as a spiritual affiliate for Brahma Kumaris at Northeastern University's Center for Spiritual Dialogue and Service. So, very happy and honored, Sudarshan Bhai, to have you here amongst all of us. And today's topic is very interesting. When I probably Rakiben told me about the topic, I really found it's very interesting. Chat GPT, as everybody in the room might be knowing, it's so much trending since last few months. You ask any question and you have the answer in Chat GPT. But there are still some things which we can't get on Chat GPT, and for that we really need Chat God. So what are all those things, and how can we really make our Chat God interesting? So Sudarshan Bhai is here with us to debrief on that and get our Chat God thing sorted. So welcome, brother, and over to you for today's session. Om
Okay.
Shanti.
Thank you so much, Praful Bhai, for the wonderful introduction. Om Shanti and good morning to everyone. It is good evening here, like 7:30 p.m. So, and we have picked the Murli, which is just from 2 days ago of Avik Bapdada, the transmission, the live transmission Murli. So, which was, I think, 2013. So, and actually, I was just overjoyed by the Murli, keep the awareness of God and fortune, Bhagwan and Bhagya, and be constantly cheerful. Sorry if I'm not 100% quoting the title, but it was like, I was like, yes, I love this. Because we will see how connected it is with this chat God. The topic we have picked, I mean, it's incidentally in the title of Murli also, God is there, right? So we are going to chat with God. So some of the motivation is about how this came about is that, what's our what is our most visible, obvious relationship with Baba? Actually, and since I know it's very early morning, so I'm not going to expect like people to answer, but feel free to answer as well. is the answer is the teacher, because Baba comes and physically speaks the Murli, and we can read the Murli in a very direct way. So the relationship of teacher is the most obvious one. Father is actually more like indirect and or something that is understood and of course experienced. But teacher, you can put the Murli in your hand, right? So and read it. So that's what actually chat, this God is Murli, because you can see this as Baba is chatting with me. Okay, so that's sort of the first understanding of what chat God is, which is Baba is talking to me, and then based on that, that is my basis for all my efforts and yoga, everything, right? So that's one. And then the part two of that is I can also chat with Baba, like, okay, I'm facing something. How do I make effort? Or this thing is happening in my life. So then we're also, of course, always chatting with Baba, which Baba calls as spiritual chit chat, conversation, all this. So, how do we chat with that? So, just some basic background is that we have, which I found very useful on my journey, is that we have Avyakt Brahma in the subtle region, and I hope everybody is aware. If you're very new, we can have Q&A later on. But we have Avyakt Brahma Baba in the subtle region who is there. He has his satellite dish, and we can send a request up, and he can answer that. He and Shiv Baba, Bap Dada. So they can answer also. So this is something very, very unique, um, that he is actually available for us. So you would have seen in the Avik Murlis, maybe it was there some months ago, that to meet physically, this was in times where we could meet Baba physically, that Baba would say there is limitations of space and time and all this, but to chat with Baba in the subtle region, there is no limitation. You have open invitation to come and meet him anytime. Okay, so which means it's available for us 24/7. And again, sort of motivating it to keep us grounded, to motivate it with the Murli. So this was a little bit context. So let me share some slides that I had prepared. It's not like super polished slides, but hopefully it's very useful because I've been really applying it in my efforts, which is, and I'm going to keep it in this mode. Let me know if you can all see it and if there's any issue. The intention is not necessarily to cover all the slides, so it's more that you understand and you benefit. And don't worry, it's not, no, I don't want to not trying to bombard you with too much. Already there's a lot of information. So the summary is that to approach Murli, because that's our basis for our chat, right? Like, so chat GPT, as you know, it's trained with all the data that was on the internet till 2020 or some such. And so what is the basis for us is Murli. So we attend Murli every day, and I'm overjoyed that you have this session going on where you are reading another Avyak Murli in addition. So that's great because we really need that input. And but as we go along all this journey, it is very critical that I'm not just doing Murli as a routine, like, oh, I have to read Murli because I'm supposed to read, and becomes like a discipline. But Baba said there are three types. One is that they just go as a discipline, but second is actually, or the first number will actually treat that each version that Baba is speaking is worth lakhs of rupees or multi-millions. So that's the how much importance before you start, like even if you don't read anything else in this slide, if you just look at the first box, that each version is multi-billion, that itself, like even if you just take that away from this whole thing, I'm very happy. Then read it multiple times, the second step, because this is again, you're modeling, you're training the data, right? So what happens is Maya is very strong, and we have many problems going on in our life. I'm just saying for fun that Maya is very powerful, right? So Maya will quickly, as soon as we're reading Murli, she's trying to distract us, so we miss points, or at least I miss points. So what happens is when you really read multiple times, and I didn't pick the number 5 by chance. I will share some quotes, and if we don't have time, I can share with you the deck. Uh, that just to signify how many times it actually takes for the content to sink in. And maybe I'll just share this. If this is too small, let me. Yeah, so Baba says if you have a lot of waste thoughts, read a Murli 2 or 4 times, churn it and continue to study it, and one point and another will sit in your intellect. Continue to accumulate power from having pure thoughts, and the waste will end. Do you understand? Okay, so and then there is even he has gone as far to say if you study the Murli very well 5 to 8 times, you can go ahead of your teacher. And this actually just came in August this year. You might remember. You should study very well 5 or 6 times. Only then it will sit in your intellects, and your mercury of happiness will rise. And this point is very relevant to today's Murli we are looking at, because it was all about happiness, right? So despite Baba is telling so many Murlis, so why is my happiness not constant, right? The word Sada. So that's why I have to read multiple times, because only then the Maya forces break by repetition. Actually, recently I was sharing the same because it's one of my favorite topics. And I was sharing this at some other place, I think Milpitas or somewhere. So what happens is, if somebody is not good to us, right, we are revising that. The past we are revising a lot of times, correct? That person said this should not have happened, that should not have happened, why did they do this? All this we are revising 25 times. So then, of course, the stage will go down. But if you revise Baba's Murli, then your stage can go up. So, I mean, I personally, especially during COVID time, I started this practice of reading multiple times. And that has been a real boost. I realized that, oh my God, like I was trying to do service and I didn't even realize my foundation itself was not strong enough. So how much depth there is to Baba's words, I like, oh my gosh, there is so much in here. So coming back to this, this was the read 5 times. And then you ask questions based on the Murli to the self or to Baba, which, as I described, is Avek Babdada in subtle region. You can think that way. You can talk to Shiv Baba if you want, whatever method you like. In Baba's room, anything. Ask question to Baba and get the answer. And you have to convince yourself also, because again, we have so much conditioning of so many births of thinking in a different way. So we have to convince, and or even convince yourself temporarily to experience it. And so this is a summary. Don't worry, we will actually try this out. But before that, I always, people are like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Gyan is so difficult. I can't have yoga, right? So, and oh, I don't know if Baba said I'm very fortunate. Fortunate star is sparkling on my forehead, but I don't know if it's for me. Maybe it's for the other people, but I'm not so good, right? So this is like the steps of the different wherever you might be, and that's completely okay. And in different things we might be at different places, that's in different aspects of knowledge or jnana or seva or dharma, but that's completely fine. It's okay to begin wherever you are. I mean, that's the beauty of this. And actually, I'm just remembering, when Dadi Janki went to Baba, because she felt she was going slower than Dadi Prakashmani and others who had come a year or so earlier. And this is in the beginning days in 1930s I'm talking about. She said, Baba, how do I go fast in knowledge? And so Baba said, read Murli 6 times. And then she said, okay, Baba, I'll read Murli 12 times. So you might have heard that she used to stay awake and read the Murli and all these things, right? Like, this is not anything, foreign. Actually, our own Dadi Janki used to do. I know that Pune is very close to Dadi Janki. So this, wherever you are, it's okay, because the Murli is going to sink in and it's going to create that positive thoughts that Baba was saying. It's going to destroy the waste thoughts, and it's going to make me go up. If I won't do it, I can't do it, I will slowly get to I want to do it, and then okay, I'll think how can I do it, and then I'll try to do it, and so on. So hope this was motivating. So let's already a lot of theory. So I'm a very practical engineer person. So let's dive into the Murli itself, taking that as let me see. Yeah. So taking that as sort of the basis of what we're going to do. So as I said, the first step was, have faith that each version is worth multi-million, right? It's like so valuable. Like if whatever motivates you, it's like a jewel, it's like money, I mean, whatever it is. Think of anything that motivates you. So each of these are actually ditto from the recent Murli. I've just put it in bullets, each one sentence by one sentence. So please read this, let's say 5 times. And if you don't, if you can also pick something else from that same Murli. If you have it on your phone, you can look at that as well. But I'll give 2 minutes. So just try reading this a few times, 2 times, 3 times. So let's just do that. This is live lab experiment. And then after this, we're going to create some questions from this, which you will chat with Baba. Okay, so this exercise is clear, I hope. Let me know if I'll guide you through it, but let me know if there's any questions at any time. So right now, step one, we just, with value of, how much valuable Baba's versions are, we're going to read silently. So you can think, okay, what is Baba telling to me? And what do I experience as I read it? And at least experimentally assume you have 100% faith on this. Okay, this for the next 20 minutes at least. That have 100% faith. Don't start with 10% faith. Start with 100. It can go to 99, 98. It's okay. Okay. So I am going to ask that, because I'm hoping that you will take this practice and at future time you would also do it. So let's generate some questions based on just these few sentences that are here. Okay, so does somebody want to share some positive feelings, whether in chat or verbally, how they felt as they read these sentences, or any other things from the Murli?
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti.
If you gave us just one paragraph, honestly speaking, this part of the Murli, where I just take the two verbs, merging and visible. Everywhere Baba is just using that word, merging and visible. And secondly, for me, this paragraph is something which just directly goes in the intellect, because this he has been mentioning in all Murlis about each part of my body, my forehead, my eyes, my lips, my feet. He has forgotten the neck this time. Then the hands. So I think this is how I take the Murli. Okay, this is what is there in this paragraph. And how he has split the Bhagya. Like if I read it, that's how I took in, so that it stays in my intellect. But the more thing is that merging and visible. And why this paragraph is there? Because he wants to emphasize why I am multi-million times fortunate.
Okay, yes, thank you so much. So that was one of the questions I wanted to ask. And again, pick a different question, whether it's from here or from the whole Murli is okay also. So what is fortune? And this time I'm not looking for answer verbally. So I want each one to reflect on your whole Brahmin life and your connection with Baba. And I want you to come up with answers. And the reason I'm requesting this is, okay, there's some chat message, thank you. So, so the reason I'm asking this is because this is also, while it's a very collective journey, it's also a very individual journey. Each one stage we have to create. And yeah, I was going to share some other things, like Baba says, grind your own ingredients. So this is the raw matter and you have to grind, right? So this approach of creating question and answering is a very simple way, because it helps you to focus. Otherwise, our mind is distracted here and there. So when we ask a question, and this is in many of Ramnath Bhai's classes, that mind is asking question, intellect is answering. So they're both together, and when they're together, there is concentration. So then there is it's like a magnifying glass in sunlight. The grass can catch fire if I just, or paper will catch fire if I just leave the paper in sunlight. Okay, I'm doing yoga for hours and hours and nothing happens. So this Q&A, at least in the beginning, to help me to focus. So for example, I would ask myself, what is fortune to me? He's saying greatest fortune. So what is this fortune, right? So you are going to imagine you're asked this question and you have to answer, and you can talk to Baba also, whatever way, but you have to come up with the answer, because this is the whole become your own teacher or grind your own ingredients. So what is this? And I'll make it more personalized for me. Okay, so what is this greatest fortune for me? So you have 1 minute, and you're going to answer. Again, if you can pick another question and answer that also, or anything from this or from Murli. I'm just giving an example to make it real. So what is this greatest fortune? And just answer for yourself from inside. Okay. For example, is it the love of Baba? Maybe it's all the 21 births kingdom Baba is giving. It could be anything. And just, what is it? Is it the fortune of the Brahmin family? Is it happiness? What is that fortune really for me? So that it's very connected with me. Actually, all the answer is also here, but what is there a special thing that's for me? Okay, so would someone like to share what is, oh, okay, there's chat messages. What is visible in our heart? I'm someone special, great. I'm fortunate child of Baba. My fortune is being carefree and happy. I was lost child and I found myself Baba and you family, wonderful. God himself is glorifying me. Has to be correct, right? Can I cash it? So yeah, this is great. So I love to paint myself. I belong. Okay. So let's add a little bit more. Like, what is that? So the general tone is, yes, I'm very fortunate. Okay, but I think there are some answers like carefree and happy. So like this, can you give a visible, like a practical thing of why you're so fortunate? Like, so you were going one step deeper. So what is really that fortune? Like, how are you seeing it? How are you visualizing that? And I am, for me, I like golden age. So the so for me, like, that's when I think about that, that gives me a lot of joy. So like this, is there something practical like that you can put your hands on? For example, that you're hugging Bap Dada or something like that. Also okay, but think of something very practical that you feel very fortunate about. Visible, physical. So like, how are you fortunate? How are you special? Okay, so I think we are like, it's already half an hour, so I know I have 35 minutes or so. So let me proceed to sort of the part two, which is very connected with the rest of the Murli as well, which is that Baba was saying, right? You say sometimes I'm, you use the word sometimes, and what about all the time? So, what is the beauty of this that Baba told that Janki, or it's in all those Murlis, is that when you read the Murli like this a few times, what happens is if I keep revising, which in other words, and by the way, that even 2 minutes, right? Like we check news and no cricket match, this happened, that all very much, many are up to date. So, but like this takes 1-2 minutes to revise. And when I'm revising, what is happening is that I am, connecting with that highest frequency. So it's going to help me to get to that sada, or that remove the word sometimes and constantly, right? Because I'm putting that input in, and that is going to become the basis of my thoughts. So, and as Baba in that thing itself directly said, you have a lot of waste thoughts, read it 2 or 4 times. So I feel this is the secret. I mean, there's no big secret, as this has been already told many times, that if one of the keys is revise it a few times. And so, for example, the next question I wanted to ask is from the Murli, right? So it was, so what are some things Baba said to be constantly happy? And again, I'm sort of, while we're doing this, I'm highlighting the process to, you're generating this question, because the whole chat GPT is you type a question right into something and then you get the answer. So this is what you will have to create a question from the Murli, which is really the whole summary of the Murli. And then there are some things Baba said. So would somebody like to share some of the methods Baba said in Murli itself to be constantly happy? Okay, maybe I should read the chat.
Be detached.
Okay, be detached. Any others?
Curtail your desires.
Sorry, contain your desires.
Curtail.
I didn't hear that, sorry.
Curtail your desires.
Curtail your desires, okay.
Hand over all your obstacles to Baba.
Yes. Yeah, and then there was, I don't know if I put that here, one second, there was, yeah, this is like just the third paragraph, just to show you, like when you read it, when you revise this, you will see, notice all this that Baba said, holy means that which has already happened, that which is past. So when you revise this, suddenly this point may hit that, oh yeah, why am I worrying about that situation? It happened in the past. So at least that some settling had to happen. So now at least let me be good from now at this point, right? So actually, I will share one comedy. Recently, this came in blessing, I think, that Baba said, we have accumulated a lot of negative karma in the past 63 births. So some or other Brahmin will become instrument to help you settle that karma. So do not be sad by that. Be very happy. Like that is the finished past. And also Nirvair Bhaiji, he would always say when there's illness comes, he would say, oh no, don't worry, it already finished. I had to stay in hospital, but that's okay. I was able to settle my illness, right? So it got settled. So settle ho gaya, very good. So like this past is past. And I think somebody shared this, that I'm always with the Father, right? And I have to never lose my happiness. And yes, this is Kali Yuga, and of course situations will come. So the reason I'm doing this is all of these are sort of your answers to this, right? So past is past. I had to settle something. This is, so situations will come, no? So I cannot lose happiness. And this is what, Mama used to say, or whether there is victory, defeat, happiness, sorrow, name, fame, all this, whatever happens, success, failure, whatever it is, don't lose happiness, right? So because this is life, so things will keep happening. But I can't lose happiness. So I hope you got the idea that you, as you're reading, you're constantly chatting with Baba, like, oh, okay, what is Baba telling me?
Yeah.
And how do and what answer does that comes from within? And again, this is not a superficial, like I'm answering or I'm getting answer from Baba, but really deeply what answer is coming to me. And try to go one more step deeper, like we did, like what is, for example, what is the physical fortune that or I guess for that previous question, I would say, okay, like what is that fortune that's going to make you happier even when challenges come? Yeah, and I think some shared, like Baba is holding my hand and he's the guiding force of support. So all this is what I can use and apply in a situation. And that is also the point of churning, is how do I apply it in a situation? Okay, so
Jada, can I just ask, share something?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you
go
said about, there was one point in the Murli which I love to chat with Baba, which I also shared earlier over here. When Baba said about the word sometimes, I said, Baba, it's not possible, because we always say, Baba, I always remember you, but sometimes. So to say that that's not there in my dictionary, Baba, maybe it's there in your dictionary, Baba, but for us, that word sometimes, because even Brahma Baba used to say, sometimes, Baba, I forget you, even when I'm eating. So when that paragraph came, I could really chat with Baba. Baba, how is it possible that word could be removed from the dictionary? I just wanted to say that chatting I made with him when that paragraph came.
Wonderful. Yes. So okay, great. That's so let's end with that. That how can I? So you had come up with this great question. How can I finish? I don't know the word sometimes. Is that the question I had before? No, that's not. Okay. Yeah. So how can I finish the word sometimes? Right. This is a great question. Yes. And so let's ask Baba and see what radio message you get based on Murli. It's for everyone because this was sort of one of Baba's main ask in the Murli. So feel free to, if you are getting an answer, feel free to write that in the chat. And I want to also, like, whoever feels, oh my God, this is too high of a destination, don't worry. In case you join later, there's this slide. So yes, so I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. All this are okay steps, no problem, wherever you are. But the whole thing is, as you read the Murli a few times, or read even a paragraph, read it several times, then you'll get more encouragement and you can go up the steps. So it's the beauty of the method is that wherever you are, it's okay, because we just have to go up, right? So that's the aim. It doesn't matter which step I am at. Okay, so yes, so there's a separate message that can I share my thoughts on how can I finish this word sometimes. So I think I I will write it down here because read Murli, and I will make it even better. So this is my I'm sorry if this is a silly answer or something, but means it's not directly answering the question, but this is like the answer to the second level answer, which is that because every day Baba gives Murli, right? So if you read it few times, or actually one thing that really helped in my Brahmin efforts, because I'd spoken with Sister Kala in Peace Village, and she said, okay, at least focus on the blessing. Read it several times, whatever it is, right? If you just even do that, like, you can see the progress. And of course, I mean, don't just stop there. Like the Baba is ocean of knowledge and we are master oceans of knowledge, so we have to understand whole Murli also. But whatever you can do, whatever time you have, like that much. There was time, I think somebody was visiting Boston, and Santosh Ben from Russia, I think, and she was like, oh, if you just listen to Murli in the morning once, like that's nothing. Maya was just, that's just bare minimum. So you have to really do multiple times, and that's the whole thing. Because why is it sometimes is because we are revising many negative things in our mind, right? So if you replace it with positive things, then I'm going to build on that, correct? So in a very, I mean, if it's a very sort of vague answer, I would say, like, for the next, till the next Awake Murli, or pick whatever thing you want. Like, if you just keep revising this, oh, this is what Baba sees in me, and churning on this, like, oh wow, my this fortune is shining. And again, as I said, personal for me is like, oh, I see, like, Baba is giving me this inheritance of 21 kingdoms. And again, as I said, you might be like, oh, I don't know if that's real, I don't know if, I don't believe I can be that fortunate, you can have all these questions. But that's where the convincing is, that no, Baba is telling me, right? So I have to convince myself, whatever way Baba is, okay, let me experiment, that this is real, this is true. And this whole thing, Baba is telling me directly. That's the whole experience of when we go to Milan in Madhuban, that Baba is telling directly, talking to me directly. So God, the point of light, through angelic Brahma, and this is talking directly to me. He's not an indirect connection that I have. So if God is telling me, I think it came in the chat too, if God is telling me this must be true, right? I have to experiment and realize, that's all. So if that becomes my focus, then the distractions that make me sometimes, the distractions, the sorrow and the past and whatever else that make it, challenges through the body, right? Actually, I was going to talk about this. So there are many challenges. It can be through body, it can be through family, whether lokic or alokic. It can be through whatever, climate, whatever, political situation, economic situation. So many external factors are there. But if I am really enjoying this fortune so much, right, then that is lesser than the joy of this fortune. The loss of anything else, whether it's status, money, health, whatever it is that might be a challenge in my life, this fortune is so valuable for me that becomes less. So then I'm not going to lose my happiness. But if I have understood that that is more important than this, then I lose my happiness because I have more faith in those physical things. So that's why I'm losing my happiness. So I think I would even say that to answer this question, I would say even like read read first paragraph, right? And churn and experience. And then if you are in that experience, then the joy of that will remove the things that are causing problems. So for example, I was having, to make it really real, because people are like, okay, you're okay, there are more questions coming. So I assume Rakhi can just guide me, or Praful Bhai, like, so we're just doing Q&A till 8. How much time do we have?
Whether we have around another 10 minutes.
Okay, so we'll just do some Q&A. But I think I've covered the gist of the whole thing. So we're just doing Q&A now, right? Okay, yeah. So so even read one paragraph of the first part of the Murli and churn and experience. Okay, so yeah, so there is the standard question is, Bhaiji, I'm unable to read due to lack of time. So this is, everybody is true in today's modern world with working and lokik seva, take care of family, like so many things are there, right? So that's I think that's what you will have to find a way that once okay, so I'll tell you the way that I did. So the way is, I think you would have heard the story of Dadi Janki too. Once after Murli, she went for breakfast, and Baba said to her, like, okay, you just, I don't know the exact words, so please correct me, or somebody may know the right words, but I'm just sort of paraphrasing from what I've heard in classes. So Baba told her, okay, oh, you just come for breakfast. So she realized, oh my God, I didn't do any seva. So she made it a habit, as you all know, that before eating she has to share the gyan with somebody. So yeah, and I see the answer there. Just pull the Murli and read a few lines exactly. So but like, to be more serious about it, that you can say, like, okay, I'm going to only have lunch. That's what it worked for me, is that, okay, I'll only have lunch after I've read Murli like 5 times. Or okay, read the first paragraph n times, or whatever thing you want to do. So then, when it comes to food, I think at least myself, I'm very motivated. So it's like, oh my gosh, because we make time for food, right? There's time to eat, cook, eat, everything. That is all highly prioritized, and it has to happen every day. So how come that food has become more important than the spiritual food? So you can gate it with the food if you like, that let me read, create some goal for yourself, and I have to do that before I eat, whether it's breakfast, lunch, whatever it is, because we create time for food, right? Nobody says, oh, I don't have any time to eat. So that's one. And I think just to make it simple is that, yes, just in your mobile, these, by the way, 2017 was a big, huge year where Murli was available on, officially available online. And so that's broken all the barriers, right? So it just takes 5 minutes to quickly go through the main points, or the summary, or the blessing, or read the first several, how many ever lines you can get through. And so you can make it easy. right? And then increase. And so if you say, okay, before eating, I have to do these things, then it happens somehow. And yes, sometimes, I would eat slightly later, but that is one way that has worked. I'm sure you can chat with Baba and find the answer to this too, that whoever was asking this question, how can Baba, we're all so busy, how can I do this? Right? And then you find an answer and experiment and then see how it goes.
Om Shanti, brother.
Yes.
Can I just share a bit? See, in my college days, I'm a commerce student. Whenever my balance sheet never agreed and I went off to sleep, it used to be on my intellect and my friend. We used to do study together. What was that one item which didn't do? Suddenly, like Eureka, we used to get an idea. We used to run. In middle of the night, she used to call me and say, see, we didn't take this. So I take the same method over here. You said Murli, read 5 times. But I think there are some parts of the Murli which just makes you go and hug Baba. Like in Esther, this Murli, when Baba said, hello, I cannot be without you. I need you. One. And when he blesses me, he's saying, I'll take each name and each face and I'm going to bless you. So these kind of points in the Murli, it pulls you, especially Avyakt Murli. I'm not saying Sakar Murli doesn't do it. Sakar Murli gives you knowledge. Like yesterday, Baba said, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva are creation. They cannot be worshipped. How are you worshipping Radha Krishna? It's just a knowledge. Like, what is that one thing which pulls you? Maybe not the whole Murli. One line of the Murli, if I get attracted. I feel that is also a way. Just to go and touch the Murli, pull the Murli.
Right. So I think that's what I want to talk is the intent of the law is that the draw of your mind to Murli is that much, so this is the guideline to tell you how much importance Murli is in my life, just as we value food and water and all this. And we don't give excuse that, oh, I didn't have time to eat today. Well, somehow I make a time, right? So I think the intent is to realize the importance of Murli. That's really the thing. I mean, the numbers, like, don't be stressed. So one of the things is, as because don't be stressed out with Gyan itself, because the whole point of Gyan is to be not stressed. So Baba will work with you and you'll figure out a method and you go step by step. It's okay, read once, twice, thrice, and then you can reach to the end. That's okay. Like, don't think that I have to jump all the way. So slow and steady wins the race. And look at the intent of the law. Like, it's that much importance is there to revising the Murli, is basically the summary of this. And what happens is that when you revise a few times, then naturally you're going to apply it in your situations in life, and that leads to more happiness. And as I was just reflecting this, like, I felt like my problems are smaller than this fortune that Baba is telling me. So I can be happy and fly over them, right? So, I mean, these are the type of, ask yourself, what are the insights I get as I read a few times? So, how many ever times you can read, it's okay. So, I mean, just to give real example, oh, it's okay. It's 8:21. Let's, was there any other questions? Yes. Any other questions, comments? Yeah, if not, I will say there are classes also. There's brief cuttings, and you can send a link if you want. But Baba has said that he does respond, and he responds whenever we ask a question. Baba does respond, but it's just that we have to, our mind has to be clean and clear to get the answer. And if you don't get, if you feel, oh, many say, oh, I'm not getting any answer from Baba. So for that also, then you can rely on the Murli. And many have shared experience that they take any Murli and you find answer for whatever you're looking for. So the chat from Baba is really Murli. Also, I think one thing that has helped me is, I think Suraj Bhai's classes of, he would say, we are always running behind people with two arms. We ask, oh, let me ask this person, let me ask that person, let me ask this. If I have a question or a problem, I go to two people with two arms, but the one with 1,000 arms is sitting, and so why not ask him? Yes, Bijit, hi.
Om Shanti, brother. So I have a question. Like as we know,
I'll stop sharing.
see, there are so many murlis, right? So I often look at it and then see we take it, right? There are so many murlis, about 50, 55 years of murli. So
Yeah.
somebody who came late might think that how do I cover all these murlis, right? And then of course everybody who the moment they realize Baba, right? So they would have the deep desire to go through the entire murli that which Baba said in this Sankam Yuga, right? Because we get only this murlis during Sankam Yuga. It's that's one fortune, like you rightly shared. So one fortune. So everyone would like to go through it, but due to lack of time and our busy schedule, we may not be able to cover the whole murli. So brother, what is your thought on this? So is it
Yeah. So somebody is saying join Avik Modi Club. So I think I had one. I didn't cover this, but this there was. If you are from the in the 90s, there was this press any key joke. I don't know if, who is not familiar. I'll just so the thing was in the old days, when the computer starts up, it will say press any key, and then people are like stuck trying to find where that any ANY key is, but you really can press any key. And so the the general answer to your question is it's okay, take whatever Murli is okay. Like, there's another joke about this that, one, I think some camel was there, and then there was whatever they eat, grass or something on this side. And then there was, so it's like, oh, should I eat left side first or should I eat right side first? Don't be confused. Just eat anything is okay. So the point is, don't worry, you start somewhere, and okay, now whole Murli is there. Now which point I should take? Well, take some point that you like, it's okay, right? And then it will unfold. So the as Baba has said, even if you do one Murli fully, you can become complete. So that's
right?
so don't worry that, oh, I didn't cover this and that, right? Like, you
So
go and
yeah, so brother, your point is rather than covering the entire Murli, we can focus on one Murli and then try to become
yeah,
embodiment
I'm
of
not
that
saying
point.
just read one Murli the whole life. I'm just saying, like, it's okay, pick whatever you're getting, whether you in the morning Murli or this Avik Murli club or whatever it is, that is good, right? Don't worry, oh my God, there is so many other Murlis, correct? So the point is, if you go in depth, all the, it's like the pearls are all in the ocean floor. So if you go to the ocean floor, you'll get everything. But if you're at the top thinking, oh, which point which Murli I have to read, I don't have time for all the Murli, then you're just stuck at the top. But if you just do one, then you get all, right?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. So I know this is a little bit of alokik greed, maybe it's a good thing, but don't don't let that deter from our progress also. So press any Murli is okay. Whatever Murlis you're getting is okay. Don't worry. And
Another
who knows, maybe there will be time to complete everything too, right? Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, so any other essence is just scattered, pick a few drops. Yeah. Okay, so it's about
Other than
8.
the time,
Yes.
can we move on to meditation for a few
Yes.
minutes?
Okay, so I will I'll just share this thing again. And just putting this, but you can churn on anything else from the Murli as well. I'll just speak some words. So take myself, I the soul, take myself in front of Baba. Can be in subtle region or as me, the angelic self meeting with Avik Bab Dada, or physically in Madhuban or in the soul world, anything okay. But I take myself in front of Baba, whatever that means for you. And Baba is showering me with blessings and fortune. I have this direct connection, meaning Baba is directly teaching me in this confluence age. It's not an indirect connection. And I'm in front of Baba, and he's seeing me with such benevolent vision. And just like they say, Brahma distributes fortune, Baba is bestowing me with this immense and unlimited fortune of the whole cycle of an elevated deity, angel, Brahmin heart, and worthy of worship heart. Even though perhaps I cannot fully understand that, but just like a loving parent or a teacher has this highest vision for me, I connect with that vision. And ask yourself, how is this connecting to Baba's vision of me, making me feel now, right now? What are the elevated feelings or insights that, or enthusiasm or courage that is coming to me? That I can take with me and apply in my life. So answer for yourself. For example, I'm able to fly above the problems and be constantly happy. Like this, what an inspiration, insight, realization, positive feeling, if any, that comes to you. Okay, Om Shanti, everyone.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Sudarshan Bhai, for that wonderful journey in taking us through the journey of how to have a chat with God. This is just the beginning. We look forward to have many more sessions with you in the coming days to come in. Thank you for all the insight. Thank you, Divine Family. And let's keep this practice on of chatting with God through the medium of Murli. See you all tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother.